Come home, yeah, come home. I kinda miss the way you make it cold. The frost in my bones. You know that I'm a lonely soul.
Hey, my name's Matt, and I'm gonna talk you through my new song "Snow" today. I'm gonna run through some of the production, some of the writing stuff. It's gonna be really nerdy, so let's nerd out. Let's jump straight into it. So yeah, this is Snow, and this is how Snow has existed since I made it. Bear in mind, this project is pre-mix and master, so it doesn't sound like the master, but it's all there. Everything that's in the song is in this. I promise. So yeah, let's jump straight in. I actually have recorded this like 3 times, and my camera kept on overheating because it's the middle of the summer here in the UK, and no houses in the UK have aircon, so I am destroyed right now, and I've got all of this gear here, which is making it even warmer. But as I was recording earlier, I found this thing hiding in the project, which I completely and totally forgot about. And I made it. This was kind of the seed for the whole song, I would say. Like, as far as production and writing goes, this is how the song started, and this is how the song came to be, was this one thing, which is really random and something really that is so buried in the track that you can't even really hear it. So here we go. So this was the seed for the song, and it was this kind of, it's this bell loop that I put into a plugin by Slate and Ash called Cycles, which is hands down my favorite plugin that I think I've ever got. I think they're probably my favorite company that make, software company that make these plugins, because they're just insanely good. They are insanely cool. The stuff that they use is super interesting, and what comes out of it is just amazing. And the idea behind this is that it's kind of like a granular resampler kind of synth. It's called Cycles. Shout out to Slate and Ash. Basically, you drag your sound in, whatever it is, a splice sample, a piano loop or a vocal, and you can essentially like resequence it, which I think is very cool. You can also granular it as well. This is it. This is the original sound in granular. Which is really cool. But this is the loop that I kind of came out with. The exact loop, but it is you get the idea. So yeah, that's the loop that kind of started everything. So let's go to the start of the song, which is the first thing that you hear is this thing. Now this thing's really cool. It's just a resampled piano. Weirdly enough, it sounds nothing like a piano now. I'll show you the original loop real quick. It was a sound off Splice, I'm pretty sure. Don't hate me for that. I know, I'm sorry. So it's an electric piano playing like a, I don't know, like a very jazzy riff. So I basically just took each chord from there and chucked it into here and put some saturation, a little box, and a EQ on it. Yeah. So I just did that, and then we got the beginning of Snow. So yeah, and then that's the first instrument that you hear. The vocal comes straight away. I think with this song, I didn't really want to fuck about with how long it was going to be, or like suspense. I think the song is very much like, it is what it is. Have it or don't. Do you know what I mean? The vocals were done on, off the top of my head, a U87 and a CL1B, which just sound beautiful together. I don't have one personally, but this was in the studio that I was using. This week I spent working in my mate's studio for free, and he has some amazing gear, and I definitely went to town on it. So yeah, this is the vocal.
Come home, yeah, come home. soul.
So yeah, it's a very like no frills intro. We're just going straight in. And it's cool. I never really do that in my songs. It's always about this big kind of suspenseful moment that I can create, like this huge crescendo into something massive. But with this song, it kind of comes up, it comes down, it goes back up, and then it's done. And I think that's super important for the message of the song as well. With being quite a low-key heartbreak, which is kind of what I'm dubbing it at the moment. So anyway, we move straight from that into the chorus. Again, we're not fucking about, like we're going straight in. So I'll just play that for you.
Come home, yeah, come home. I kinda miss the way you make it cold. The frost in my bones. You know that I'm a lonely soul. Your skin breaks, cracks and outgrows. Your shell is frozen in time. Oh, I know, yeah, I know. You're only happy when it fucking snows.
So there you go. Lyrically, I think is where like the lyrics I think is where most of the energy comes from in this song. The production's really not doing much. So the vocals here are like chilling. One in the middle, two in each ear. Very simple. With a vocoder doing, I think, the octave lower and then one held note. Yeah, so the octave lower, Waves Harmony. Such a good plugin. I feel like no one really knows about this plugin, but it's just fucking, it's really cool. It allows you to do so much. Yeah, you can like generate automatic chords and stuff with it. It's really fucking cool. It's really useful, and I think it's really good for those kind of moments where you need to sketch an idea or you need some inspiration. I always find that this plugin is just amazing for bringing that kind of random inspiration. So yeah, I'll just show you how that sounds actually. Actually, I'm not going to show you what that sounds like because that sounds pretty mental, not in a good way. So what we're introducing, yeah, we've got the vocals, got a little like effect thing here that just swells. So not really much there. It's just, I think that's a splice loop as well. The drums are super important because they're not doing anything. They're really just chilling on this one. They're super kind of, it's the same with all of this song really. It's just, it is what it is. It's a very simple kick pattern from Splice that then I've just built kind of spare samples around it to just make it feel more human, make it feel less like a loop. So I've got some kicks here. These are both kicks that are layered. So yeah, just a sub and a top, a sub and like a mid kick. The pattern, which has literally just got an EQ on it, so not doing anything mental there either. And then we've got a hat that I wanted to add in that was kind of just really building the pattern. Actually, I think I'm wondering if, no, I didn't even do that. So I've got an enveloper on there, which is actually a really cool trick to just kind of make sounds build tension really. You can, I'll show you. So it kind of gives you the ability with a sample to have more control over how it feels, especially when I can't afford a drum player and I can't play the drums myself and I don't have a drum kit. So when you're in the studio and you're trying to program drums, I've always found that as a really cool way to just make it feel more human. And also I added this open hat just kind of randomly here and there. Just in the effort to make it feel as human as possible, because the vocal is super bare bones. So moving on from the drums, yes, we've got a live bass. This was the first time that I used a live bass in a song, apart from Trauma. But the Trauma live bass is super buried and I didn't really think about it that much, whereas after writing Trauma, I kind of realized how important a live bass can be. Maybe not in the final product in every case, but like writing, coming up with cool chords and bass lines and stuff. It's something that I never used growing up, like learning to play. My main instruments were guitar and piano. So obviously a bass is very similar to guitar in the way that you play it and the way that it functions, but it just feels very different to play and to write on. So I found that super interesting to do. And yeah, that's kind of how this whole idea came about. So we have actually 2 takes of live bass, both hard panned into each ear, with a synth bass in the middle called this name, which I can't pronounce, but it's a really cool synth by Brainworks. I absolutely love it. It changed the game, really. For me, it was just before I found the UAD Moog plugin. I found this and it sounded incredible, and kind of, again, a lot of the stuff in here is building blocks for all of the music I've made after this record, but we can't talk about that right now. So yeah, we've got, this is the kind of bass line bit.
Skin breaks, cracks and outgrows. Your shell is frozen in time. Oh, I know, yeah, I know. You're only happy when it fucking snows.
So yeah, super just nice sounding stuff. Very like low key, very just, yeah, a bit sad, a bit whatever you want it to be, but definitely not going all in at all. Which feels like a very honest song, which is what I've always wanted to be able to do, and I think this was a super important part of me making this record and making music that I'm excited to put out, because it's very different to the stuff that I'm used to making.
Come